So when we were shooting Summer School, we shot a lot of it on the beach, obviously. And so Dean Cameron, who played Chainsaw, he and I were on the beach talking. And we were doing one of those things where we were going back and forth telling stories about people that we've worked with, and oh, I worked with this guy, and oh, I worked with this young actor, kind of trying to impress each other. And at this point, Carl Reiner, the director of the movie and a legend, he walks up and he does that thing where he stands nearby and starts listening to our stories, not interrupting us, not making any judgments, just sort of listening, just like a regular dude. And so we tell our stories back and forth and back and forth. And then Carl Reiner, in just a few sentences, says this. That's funny. I remember on Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, Steve came up with a line that was very similar to that. And then he followed that up with, it reminds me of when me, Mel, Woody, Neil, and Danny were writing a sketch for Sid, and we just couldn't figure it out until finally we came up with it after lunch. And then Carl Reiner looks at us, he smiles, he goes, "Hey, we're ready for you on set," and he walks away. We were served so hard. We were so outclassed because what he had just said in these few sentences were basically this. The tiny story about Steve coming up with a line for Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid, he was talking about Steve Martin. And the other one where he was dropping names of these other writers that he was working with, Woody was Woody Allen, Mel was Mel Brooks, Danny was Danny Simon, Neil was Neil Simon, and Sid was Sid Caesar. In about 10 seconds, Carl Reiner, without even trying, had dropped the names of Steve Martin, Mel Brooks, Neil Simon, Danny Simon, Woody Allen, and Sid Caesar, because they were his friends. These were the guys that he hung out with. Dean and I looked at each other astonished as Carl walked away and agreed, yeah, we need a much better circle of friends.